when I came back from Los Angeles, after a while, I would play sessions. And one of the first people that I actually played sessions with was my uncle. Great guy, great musician. I learned a lot from him. And he was, when I was a kid, he was an inspiration to me. Glad to have him. And we would play around. And kind of, he would play like the Hammond organ. And kind of salty dog, kind of chestnut kind of stuff. And fabulous. And the next thing after that was I played big bands. Kind of playing waltzes and, kind of prestigious events in front of, hundreds and hundreds of people, in some instances maybe 1,000 people, And I would kind of read the dots, accompaniment, and then, okay, kid, out in front, take it. So you'd have to do a solo and stuff. And for the notability people, for the, the pedantic people, the Cork School of Music. Now, I haven't been inside the door of the Cork School of Music ever. Old building or new building, I've never been in there. Now, I've thought some of their most prestigious students, before they went there, I thought them, but I've never been there. But their big band was having their inaugural concert, their very first concert, and the conductor, who's actually a friend of mine, and played with me in kind of smaller ensemble works over the year. Great musician, great guy, asked me would I play, because they didn't have a guitarist. And I said, sure, I'll do it for you. And so I played their inaugural concert, again, reading the dots, accompaniment, and solos. And, so that was quite something. I also played in the Royal Cork Yacht Club. A kind of tinge of the Wicker Man to it, but absolutely fantastic. Great fun, learned a lot, and my dear old Uncle Archie, who was a formidable man below in the RCYC, kind of made him happy. The other thing is, I also played in Ballymaloe before it was the behemoth it is now. We would play down there while the guests were eating their hot cuisine. Great food, amazing people, and even better now. And so we would play along, and then like the guests would retire to the drinks lounge for in pensive sooth and for contemplative reflection, and we'd kind of reset up and play there, the kind of second set kind of thing in there, and then Ballymaloe would feed us. I mean, absolute exquisite gourmet cuisine, incredible, nothing like it. And again, as already iterated, even better now. Part of the folklore of Cork, one of the most famous Irishmen ever, and this is not folklore, Jack Doyle, a hero to so many people, a legend. They used to call him the Gorgeous Gael, and world famous. And basically in the early 1970s, there was discussion in Cork about the possibility of a Jack Doyle musical in the West End of London, and reciprocally, the Jack Doyle show in Vegas. And I mean, this is kind of like word on the street kind of stuff. Now, I played with a drummer, two separate guys, drummer, keyboard player, separate gigs. Drummer was tasty drummer, comedic, jocular, but tasty drummer, very tasty. And I played with a keyboard player. Now, he's from Cork. He's no longer with us, but he's from Cork. And he was as good, if not better, than any keyboard player I've ever played with. And I've played with some really good ones. Actually, some great ones. And this man was as good as any of them. Incredible musician. There was nothing that he couldn't do. And in the early 70s, they tried to bring Jack Doyle over to George's Quay to rehearse maybe, 18 years later, I rehearsed there too, and it was a bit of a dive then, but it was actually, there were quite respectable rooms back in the early 70s. And so Jack Doyle was brought down there to see if he was amenable. Now, you can do this like for 6 months and nothing's going to happen, or you can put down a marker and see if he's responsive, and the whole thing was, if he was willing to kind of, go with, sing the a little more fire, a little less spark, a little less fire, a little more spark, this kind of stuff, and wear leather pants, kind of sing Heartbreak Hotel kind of stuff. Like, if he was amenable to that, you got him. He'll do it. But he wasn't. And that was it. Folklore. Thank you very much for listening.